Good evening, Daphne, Cita. It's Cocktales night, our favorite weekend habit.
That's true. I'm going to raise my glass to that.
Well, you mentioned glass. Our next guest elevated glass into a medium of fine art. Joining us later is glass sculptor Ramon Orlina.
Friends, patikim lang yan. Marami pang chika coming up.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
It's time for mixing tales and serving chats. This is
Cocktales.
This award-winning artist pioneered the use of glass as a medium for sculpture, and now his name is synonymous to glass sculpture here in the Philippines. Welcome to Cocktales, Mr. Orlina.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
Welcome.
Yeah,
It's an honor to have you
Cita
here with
and
us
Vic.
tonight.
Thank you.
And you brought a beautiful piece right here behind us. It is so stunning. Tell us about this.
Oh, I finished this piece last year, and it's still one of my collections. I plan to exhibit it one of these days.
Wow, it is
Beautiful.
beautiful, it's big, and it's so heavy, which leads me to our first question. You know, from stealing gadgets to stealing art pieces, even your Sampaloc studio was targeted. Can you tell us about this, the reports that have been coming out about theft of Orlina pieces? I mean, they're so big and heavy.
They target the small ones, you know.
And the small ones.
Because the galleries, actually, those that were stolen, you know, were displayed in the gallery beside near the doors. That's a problem, you know.
Okay.
So maybe there will be a
Pocketable and easy to get away with. Okay.
But how do you walk
like
away with something like that? I mean, aren't there you know, cameras around?
The last one was, you know, it was this big, 15 inches. At first, she went in, try if she can lift it. Then she went out, talked to the guys. No, maybe sabi niya, I'll do it myself. I can carry it. So she has a shield here, black and white shield. No, get it, carried it. It's in the CCTV. Put the shield, went out. That's it.
Parang baby,
As
ginanon.
simple as that.
Simple as that. They did it first in another gallery, and it's the man who did it. No, there were two ladies who went inside, talked to the sales girl. So they pointed at the painting at the back. So her back was at the back. The back is the door, so she cannot see the one who's going in. No? And as they were talking to her, somebody came in. I counted it, 7 seconds, gone.
If I were a prospective Orlina buyer, how do I know, how do I ensure that this came from legitimate source, or even better, how do I know it's a real Orlina?
It must have an authentication paper. Authentication paper has a picture of it with my dry seal. So even if you take a new picture of what you cannot just
what
use
if
a dry
it say,
seal.
oh, nabahano ondo,
That's what they say,
it's got
Yun nga, sabi nila,
fire, or eaten by
yung bumili ng isa, sabi niya,
termites.
let's say, sabi na, saan ang authentication paper? Kasi sa Marikina kami nakatira eh. Nagbaha din, nawala lahat yun. So, naniwala siya.
So bumalik sa'yo yung piece, pina-authenticate sa inyo,
Then
tapos
kinuha
na-discover nyo na, hindi naman,
Yeah, then I called her up. Sabi ko, may nagbigay sa akin ng papilyang cellphone niya. Then I told her that, you know, where did you get this piece? Sabi niya, is there a problem? Yeah, sabi ko, it was a stolen piece, you know.
But can you put some sort of a signature or
they are
It has a
signed.
signature.
They are signed,
But
etched,
The date.
yeah, with the date.
But that can be replicated as well, right?
One thing nice maybe is, I'm thinking, why are they stealing my work? Because they cannot fake it. A lot of artists now does not make authentication paper. Let's say BenCab. If you bring a work to BenCab, you will not authenticate it anymore. Because a lot of BenCabs and so Arquas are coming out because it's easy to do painting. In sculpture, you must have the material.
Yes.
And I have the control of the material. And the technology, I know that technology, nobody can do it, you know.
I've actually been to your studio and I've seen the work that goes into a piece. And you mentioned that you control the material because nobody can just get a big chunk of glass that huge. And then the process.
The cutting.
He created the machines to make them. No one else has them. So faking is not really the issue here. Yours is stealing.
Stealing. But they've stolen around 8 to 10 pieces of my works already.
My.
That's why I came out. Sabi ko, just to, let's say, prevent from buyers to buy stolen works. You know? I haven't heard about it in the papers. I haven't nobody. It is just between the gallery taking, hey, this is what happened to me. Actually, when I came
why
out
would you think they, these gallery owners don't come out and say it? Are they scared for whatever
they're
reason?
scared.
Is this a large-scale thing that's going on?
Yeah.
Are there
Forgeries and fakes?
Yeah.
A lot.
Let's go back to how you started, because we all know that you do these huge glass sculptures, but where do you get the big glass?
Cutlets.
Yeah, I mean they're huge, the chunks. And, why do you have exclusivity for that?
What happened really was I'm an architect by profession. I work with archaeologists and I work on my own. Then there was a time I had no work because of certain political problems in the country. Then I started to do painting, and I painted on glass. Republic Glass noticed it and they told me, okay, after my talk, they told me, Mr. Orlina, I think you have a potential. We want to send you abroad for 2 years, wherever you want to go. If you run out of money, just call up and we will send you the money.
That's a nice deal.
Yeah.
It's a nice deal. It's too good to be true, no? So I told them, thank you very much. After 1 week, I came back and I told them, thank you very much, Mr. I'm very happy for your offer, but I'm not accepting it.
Why not?
As an artist, I don't want to be beholden.
Okay.
Let's say we call it, no? And there's always strings attached.
Yeah.
Then they told me, what do you want? I told them, can you just let me into the factory? Because I'm an architect, I know what is sheet glass, plate glass, wire glass, and from that, but I don't know how to make glass. So they let me in. Then I saw these chunks of glass that is left on the leftover of a furnace. A furnace is maybe 5 times as big as this room.
Wow.
So it's left on the bottom.
Considered as junk.
It's residue, it's junk. They throw it away, pantambak or whatever, So I was just there observing what I can do. So then I saw these chunks of glass, this size. Then I got it, brought it to the cutting section of the refractory. But I was introduced to all the engineers of the Republic Glass that whatever I like to ask, they should answer me. And these people are technical people. They say, oh, Ramon, it's very slow because that diamond impregnated wheel has less diamond. To make it cut more, we'll have order more diamond.
Well,
then they cut faster.
that's a true example of one man's junk or trash is another man's treasure.
Yeah.
Wow.
But after that, they will shut down again another furnace. They have 4 furnaces, and it's shut down every 7 years. So hindi naman ako mag-aantay ng 7 years. They didn't build it 7 years, no? So after 2 years, meron magsa-shut down. So I requested, sabi ko, if you can leave me 3 to 4 feet of this glass. So it's not actually a residue anymore, It became made to order na. And they have to shut down the furnace and not open the furnace for at least 1 to 2 months.
Oh, wow.
So the heat stays inside. As long as the heat is inside, then slowly it will come out. The glass won't break into small pieces. So that I get chunks of glass.
So up to now, that's still how you get your glass?
Yeah.
So you have a nice relationship with them?
Very, very. They helped me a lot. They told me, Ramon, what do I want? I want an agreement. A memorandum of agreement about the 2 of us that, whatever I develop is mine. That was when we talked after I went to his office that, I told him that thank you very much for your offer, And I will always give credit to Republic Glass.
And it helped you to your so-called salad years. Because you resigned from your architectural job. You were developing your talent and creating the market.
Yeah, maybe around 2 years, I started painting. I had a show. Then the development of this glass told me, okay, Ramon, we'll have a 2-year contract. In less than 1 year, I did not only develop one, I made a glass sculpture for the lobby of the Cignal Hotel. Just timing. Sometimes it's luck. Lord Calman told me, Ramon, can you do a painting for me? He liked my painting. No, I do something very different. Glass sculpture. It's now in the National Museum.
Oh, so that's your first significant piece, the Cignal sculpture?
Yeah, actually, it's my piece. First piece, I'm sorry.
First piece, and it was already high profile.
Yeah.
Ramon, your house in Taal, Batangas has glass stained windows. Very different from the other homes that are known for their capiz windows.
Yeah.
How did that contribute to your fascination with glass?
This is the house of my father. I've noticed when I was growing up, all our windows are not capiz, it was glass.
Glass panes.
Yeah, glass
Parang
panes.
chapel,
Yes.
parang Catholic churches.
Pero squares din.
Yeah.
Square din, parang pinalta mo lang yung
kapis,
kapis.
pero- okay.
No? But it's glass.
Yeah.
This great-grandfather of mine got married 3 times. Nabutan ko pa yung isang anak niya, last one. Halos kasing edad ng father ko. Then sabi niya, oh, my father was also good in cutting glass. He was the one, the great-grandfather, was the one who cut the glass for that kapis. So sabi niya, may pinagmanahan ka. I didn't even see my grandmother, Eh, this is my great-grandfather,
So nasa dugo nyo pala ang
I don't know, siguro.
ang glass.
So,
Don't go away, friends. We'll be back with more interesting glass talk with Ramon when Cocktales returns.
Welcome back to Cocktales. We're still here with Mr. Ramon Orlina. Mr. Orlina, glass is so fragile. We're scared of glass. We can break this so easily. Can you tell us the property? Is this really, can we chip this? Can we break this? What happens?
No, actually, glass is a very strong material, You can see it's used even in the spaceship,
And staircase, stairs.
Yeah, and the stairs now, but also, the progress of our civilization was helped by glass, because you need a microscope to see germs. You have to see Saturn or Venus by telescope, and these are all glass, When you wake up in the morning, you put in your glass.
So what happens if a buyer, let's say, that's the normal worry. What if this gets chipped or broken? So
Yeah, just
that's it.
return it to me. Yun nga, kaibahan ng, let's say, sculpture, comparing it with painting. Painting kasi is, you have a blank sheet, or let's say, the canvas. So, ang struggle mo is within yourself. Kasi ang kalaban mo lang yung canvas.
Pagka nasira, nagkamali,
Pag nagkamali, pwede mo
paint over. Yes.
Diba?
So in your case naman,
In my case, ang magkalaban dalawa. It is the medium and myself. Because the medium has his own identity. It has his own soul. Kaya papasukin mo yun. Hindi ako katulad ng canvas na pipinturahan ko, gusto kong ilagay, lalabas. Hindi.
It's how to bring out the
How
best
to bring out
of
that piece na eksakto doon sa gustong form mo.
Is there ever a time that someone looks
Yeah.
at the piece and says, Mr. Orlina, I like this, but is it possible to chip off one piece or, to make it somehow blend with their, the place?
Living room?
Yeah, their living room.
Yeah, sometimes, if somebody dictates, what I will do, and I will just tell him.
Do you feel offended when they
Yeah,
tell
in a
you
way,
what to do?
because, not really offended, but, I'm not, I'm matured enough to understand people,
it's gonna cost you, sasabihin mo lang yung presyo.
yeah. Tataas na gano'n or whatever. Ang sabihin ko sa kanya na hindi kasi bagay eh. Pag tinanggalan ko dito ng isang side, kailangan may mag-balance dyan.
Yes.
So I have to answer in a way na makukumbins siya na tama yung gagawin mo. O pwede mo sabihin, sige, dadagdagan ko ito pero ganito gagawin ko. Because sometimes if it's a commission work,
They'll dictate what they want.
a little.
Yes.
But they cannot tell me, let's say, like, somebody commissioned me, like, Ramon, make me a Buddha head. Alam mo, di ba? Buddha head ka nakikita, tapos may
Yes.
gano'n, di ba?
Yes.
But I don't want you just to make a Buddha head with a face. Sabi nga, yung may ilong, may tenga. Pag yun ang nabaksak, tanggal na yung tenga mo eh. Di ba? So what I did is, I got a glass which is bilog dito. Tapos flat dito. Then I carved the Buddha from the other side.
I remember that.
No? So
You
when
worked on the
look-
negative.
Oh, the negative. No? But you can see the face. No? But it's a negative. Because I carved it on the other side. But when you look at it, the glass is like this. Here it's almost flat. So when you look at it, the Buddha is just like a Buddha face. But when you go to the right side, it becomes fat, because may concave section yun.
May
So pag
concave.
lumabas yun, convex yung niyan gano'n, pag lumabas, si Buddha biglang mataba. Sabi niya, bakit tumaba yata si Buddha dito? O, dito naging payat. O, kasi dito actually mataba si Buddha. Eh, 40 days ng fasting siya.
Nilagyan mo na lang ng kwento.
Minsan, gagawa ko na rin ng gano'n.
So the
But
piece
ginawa,
becomes
nangyari.
so interesting because every angle is a different
Right.
look,
Yeah.
right?
And
That's
that's the
something.
way it's supposed to be enjoyed. You know, it's a sculpture, so you
Yeah.
go around it.
Yeah.
But Mr. Orlina, let's say ito, kunyari nabagsak natin dito sa semento. Magsha-shatter ba siya?
Hindi magsasyatte, mag-chipping ko.
Chip na lang.
So yung chipping, maayos pa ba yun?
Maayos ko yun. Kasi katulad niyan, abstraction yan.
edges of
Abstracted yan eh, di ba? Hindi ko naman, i-chip ko lang ito. Hindi, hahabulin ko yun hanggang sa mawala yung chip na yun. Tapos,
You
ko
shaved
ito.
off, in other words.
Yeah,
you
shaved off.
Okay.
So actually,
Kala ko, paplasteran yun.
hindi pwede. Kasi hindi na-welding eh, di ba? That's why sabi ko nga sa'yo, pag nagtatrabaho ka dyan, is kailangan sigurado ka.
What is the longest it's taken you to create one piece?
Let's say like, for example, this
Like
one.
this one behind.
Yeah, or this one. Let's say, in the cutting process, now, I taught people my process. Because if I do it myself, I can finish this in 1 month to 1 month and a half. Imagine, in 1 year, I can finish only 8 pieces of this. No? So now I have assistant. I have 15 assistants, you know. Different levels, you know.
Do they have your eye as to how to
No,
cut
because
and where to cut?
I do the cutting. I think the forming is with me. Then after that, the grinding goes to another person.
Tapos yung
The smoothing
polishing,
goes to
di ba?
another cutting. The polishing will go. Pero pinakamahirap yung smoothing. My work is not really chipping, but it's abrasive. Kinukut-kut ko yan. Kasi nakita mo yung nakakugkong na yan.
Sa loob. May mga grooves
Kinukut-kut.
yan, ho, di ba? Mga sa sulong. Meron ba kayong na-train sa 15 ninyo na apprentice na possible next Orlina?
Yeah. All of them can be.
Or mga anak
Siguro
ninyo?
actually. Yeah, I have a daughter. She's into multimedia arts.
Okay.
And she liked it better than I told her, do you like fine arts? She replied, oh, no, I like multimedia. She likes movies. She looks film.
digital arts.
So she's good in drawing. And I grew up drawing, you know. I like to draw. That's why I took up maybe architecture was...
Any regrets about not pursuing architecture professionally all the way?
No, I'm very happy with what I'm doing now. There are many architects in the Philippines. There are maybe 5 architects per island, you know.
Times 7,000.
Do you have a favorite piece?
Oh, a lot.
And are these pieces your personal collection, or there are some pieces you just don't want to
because
sell?
No, the problem is those nice pieces are commissioned work. Let's say the altar, the one in Singapore
UST.
Art Museum, the UST, the monument for UST, and yeah, a lot of pieces. But the one that I have now are my own collections because every shows that I have, I put a sale on that piece. It means it's sold already because if I just tell them that it's mine, it might be taken by others, but it's sold
To you.
to me, but it's to me, you know. So I choose 1 or 2 for me.
Aside from glass, is there another medium that fascinates you?
Actually, I did it before. I did the casting of the bronze here in the Philippines, no. But I noticed that the technique is far behind Thailand. And Thailand, they do it every day. You know? It's an industry. Not I'm saying that we don't know, we know it, but we don't have the technology, the new input.
One medium that I know that you actually got into is cars, redesigning and stretching
Yes,
Volkswagen Beetles into a limousine. Can you tell us about that hobby?
Well, my first car is a Volkswagen. Yeah. Started with it. Then I was thinking that, I like to make this bigger and extend it, no?
You yourself extended the wheelbase
Yeah.
So you cut it in half?
Yeah.
And then you went, "Toink."
and welded it.
Get another Volkswagen
Yeah.
and use it
Okay.
as spare parts. Because let's say the chassis is in the middle. I need that kind of metal because you cannot change it. The German metal is very good. So I just have to buy an old one that is not used anymore.
For the same metallurgical
Because
properties,
people,
yes.
From the Volkswagen people, don't like it because I'm destroying a Volkswagen. But I told them this one is really no more.
an art piece
So
is you're
then
creating something.
I do it. And then I did I was commissioned by BMW to do art cars, a small one. Then I did my own art car, which is Volvo, inspired by Mondrian. It was exhibited and it won. All these cars that I did won awards in the car shows. You know.
Well, you know, wait, I have to ask this. Your skin is very smooth. It's like one of your art pieces.
Yeah.
Is there any beauty tips that you can share with Daphne and I, and maybe Vic?
You look youthful.
Youthful, smooth
Do you also
skin.
grind your
Like your artwork. Yeah, do you grind?
No, I think I perspire a lot. You know, I think maybe the oil in my body gives it. You know, I don't know. Maybe the makeup artist was saying you're very very oily, right? No.
But it's hot. When you're working, it's hot.
Because when I work on glass, it has water. In the grinding, the smoothing, the polishing, it has water to lessen the friction. So there's always water. Because if not, you will inhale the glass. That's very dangerous.
So I bet it's the first time you got asked a beauty question, huh?
Yeah, yes.
Any programs that you have set up or planned to enrich the contemporary local art scene? Something is happening now. It seems to be really dynamic. Everybody is buying art.
Yes, yes. A lot of young artists are selling in Christie's and Sotheby's by the millions, you know. I'm very happy for them. And in my case, I'm building a museum in Tagaytay. Actually, what will happen is I'm doing the ground floor as a reflection art gallery, which I will rent to galleries. So if I will sell my work, I will sell it to the gallery. So I'm not the one selling it. Those that are in my because there are actually 4 floors with a basement. So the first floor and the basement will be the gallery, which sells work. And I'm not the one who's selling. So I can sell my work there. But the third floor and the second floor and the third floor will be my museum, and the fourth floor will be a coffee shop.
For every glass piece you see, do you see something that can be created?
Actually, the form of the glass helped me on creating. Maybe the glass form is going like this. So then I can see a form of a woman dancing that goes this way.
Now that
So
you
I follow the contour of the glass.
Now that you brought up that subject of woman and form, in the 1990s you created 20 breast sculptures. How did you make them? Did you have models, and was there a market for those sculptures?
Yeah, actually, up to now, there are so many demands of that for me.
I would like one like that. I think that's very
But
sexy.
that was but the problem is I cannot do always this Ning Ning. I call it the Ning Ning series. It's called Ning Ning because actually it's inspired by the breastfeeding of my wife. My wife is
that's so
Leanne,
beautiful.
and my daughter is named Ning Ning, who is now graduating for engineering. She was breastfeeding for 2 years. So the constant exposure maybe of the breastfeeding, suddenly it was in my conscious mind, because when I work on my glass,
But
I look at
20
the glass.
sculptures, right? Were they commissioned?
More. No, because it's a one-man show at the CCP.
And each one is different.
Different. All my works are different from each other. I don't repeat a work. I don't repeat any design. Even if it's all Ning Ning, you'll have the difference. You know.
So the breast sculptures are inspired by breastfeeding.
By
Yeah.
breastfeeding.
So even
I don't know what,
I don't know what you're thinking, but
he's
yes,
inspired by something else.
but speaking
I
of
don't know.
breastfeeding, I know you've been supporting our advocacy in UNICEF, so thank you
Yes.
for that, Mr. Orlina.
Oh, my
Your help
pleasure.
has really, helped a lot of children here in the Philippines through our program. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for, talking to us about issues of, from art theft to how you do your sculpture.
Yes, and as I said, it's going to be part of my bucket list
To have one.
to have a piece by no less than Mr. Orlina.
Thank you for coming to the show.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Thank you, thank you.
And so, folks, if you want to buy an Orlina, make sure it's authenticated. It comes with a paper
Authentication
certificate
paper,
with a seal, right? Well, the show may be up, but the fun never stops in the world of lifestyle, fashion, and A-listers.
Plus corporate hookups and breakups.
We'll have more stories to tell.
And more delicious buzz to bear. So join us again next week for another awesome round of
Cocktales.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you, thank you.
I enjoyed my interview with Daphne, Cita, and Vic. They're beautiful people, and I like to be with them. I'm very happy to be a guest here, and hope that you'll invite me again.